Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm putting a 8000 style in. It's in white this time, so it's going to be quite a nice looking boiler. It's going in the airing cupboard. What we've got here is a heat only boiler, open vented, so old system. What we're going to do is just change it all over, get a combi in, get it in the airing cupboard, get it sorted, and then eventually run the shower off that as well. They've got a very old electric one, I'll show you shortly, but it's just going to improve this house massively. So yeah, it's going to be a big saving on the energy bill. This is what they've got. You can see pipe runs are all the way down here through. That is the top of the staircase. So what we're going to do is not just cap it off here, but cap it off under the floor in the airing cupboard, because obviously that is the only flow and return there, and then we can just possibly clean one out and use it as the gas, take that up into the airing cupboard. So that's sort of my plan. For a change, we're in Dudley today, so obviously I'm not from around here at all. A bit of a 40-minute drive this morning, here for 8:10, which can't be better really. That's what we're dealing with inside the airing cupboard. As you can see, we've got the old red jacket on, and we've got the loft above, which is where the vertical flue is going to go through. I'm going to be taking it along and out that wall. I'm on my own, as always, until we get an apprentice sorted. But you know, we're doing all right so far. This is the old shower. I mean, you'll have to drop in the comments if you see one, guys. You know, it's obviously dated. So yeah, eventually I think it'd be nice one to run a mixer off that wall there. Straight off the boiler, but my only concern is now where we mount the boiler could cause an issue for running the hot and cold through. So certainly gonna have to think about that one. We might have to have the current pipes down the wall, but boiler's more important at this point, I should think. So yeah, we'll get him in there and we'll be away. So what I'm going to do now is just drain down. I've got the hoses ready to go by the boiler and by the radiator downstairs. So once that's all disappeared out through the drain, we can get cracking, get cutting out. I think I'll get the Milwaukee pipe slice on this one just to make a bit of light work of it. So yeah, let's have a look. So we're up here with the header tank now. This is the route for the flue, or will be. So straight on, and it's obviously going to come through the probably where this tank is, straight up underneath it. Okay everyone, just going to quickly just sort of explain, if you haven't seen one of these before, what we've got here is, I believe they call it a hot rod. So instead of an immersion, you have these two flow and returns which just run down on a long loop inside the cylinder. They do come off the main flow, so just a standard 3-port valve there, neck down to 15 very quickly, off to the heating system that way, up when they choose hot water, in, around, and then the return, which I got a bit worried I couldn't find, but it is in 15. Where are we now? Here, going through. So whether that's in 22 in the floor, that'd be nice. If it is, then I can just get onto it then, and it'll be 22 up to the boiler, of course, and that's where the filter's going to be. So yeah, once we start cutting this out, though, I'll show you a bit more, and we might uncover something else. So this will drain now. A couple of hoses attached to each other, sending it downstairs. Just tie a knot in that. A bit of water still in that pipe. Luckily the drain off on the bottom of the cylinder was working nicely, so we managed to get onto it, drain it fully down, so there's nothing in the bottom of this now. Maybe an inch or two of water, but that's it. So that'll come free. space that has. So yeah, nearly plying boiler time. So things might be looking a tiny bit different now. The tank's gone at the top, cylinder's gone, pipework's been cut back. I mean, if you can imagine there, all the pipe ones are just going to come straight up at this point. After we've ply lined it, bring them straight up to the boiler there, and then possibly change the hot and cold down on the bottom, bring them through in line where they should be. But we'll have a look. I have been able to get under the bath, and as you can see, a lot of compression fittings, because you'll be very lucky man to solder onto that stuff, or woman for that matter. But yeah, I think we'll change it, get on it here, just throw it over. I know this bathroom's going to be coming out at some point, they mentioned, so maybe it all wants to go under the floor at some point, but until then, that's what we've got. Cut the flow and return out, made it really easy obviously with the Milwaukee pipe slice, and as you can see it's sort of gone now. What we're going to do is just remove the boiler next, take it down, just decommission it, take the gas pipe away. The gas pipe now is going to be over here, and then obviously going through to the airing cupboard, which will be fine. So yes, we're getting there. So we're going to look in this now, see what the flue arrangement is, how tricky it is to get off. It normally takes a half hour or so just to strip these down. So this boiler is actually from the day when you had to bring a vacuum in to service it, or maybe a thermocouple with you. I think they're still running off that. So pilot light would be here. Cast iron heat exchanger. This is why they lasted so long, because I think there's just so few parts to them. Gas valve, heat exchanger, burner. Once that was cleaned out, you're pretty much sorted. There's a fair bit of moisture damage up here, so it's a good job it's coming out anyway. But what we'll do is just take the top off from the rope seal upwards, and then we can get to that flue behind, and then look at maybe getting some bricks ready to sort the wall out, and just remove this, cap the gas, and then take it all back that way, and have the new installation inside the house. Right, I learned now, always wear gloves with those because there's some seriously sharp edges, but as you can see that is off the wall and ready to be, I would say, bricked up, but because it's been knocked down, we're going to leave it. So yeah, that's fine. Gas pipe's going to be cut back, as I said earlier in the video, but let's go now upstairs. Right, so I've been working hard under the floors here, making life easier for tomorrow basically. It's always the way, the more you put in now, and just prepare where the pipework's going to go, it's going to be a lot easier in the long run. So I'll show you exactly what I'm on about, and that is I'm going to ply line that, but that jig is just on there for the moment, just so I know where everything's going. And then down here now we've got the 3 22s through, ready to go, gas, flow, return, and they've just been connected back here. So yeah, just done away with it in the front here. Normally it's just comes sticking out anywhere, and it can be quite messy, but now we can go straight up into the bottom of the boiler. The hot and cold were coming through here, they're then now going to come through in the right place to go up as a 5 to the top. Good morning guys, second day on this job now. Had a good day yesterday where you might have seen that we sort of stripped everything out, got it all back to bare wall, and also the pipework under the floor has been taken now back up, looking ready for the new boiler. So yeah, it looks like not much has been done when you come home, but it's all progress, isn't it? And it's all preparation for today. So what we're going to be doing is just cutting the ply for the back wall, all set up here. So I just went upstairs with the boiler, that out of breath, heavy old thing. Must be coming in at about 40 kilos roughly. But this one is fantastic. This is obviously the best Bosch make at the moment. And in here, simply by releasing the two clips, you can see the pump assembly, condensate trap, which is also quick release. I've probably shown you before. Push of that padlock, push the locked padlock symbol, and it's all back together. Super simple. The wiring is also really dead easy to get to. That's the same again on two green tabs in there, and there, and there. And then it will lift out, which is really useful, as you can see. Clip them back in. So yeah, let's get him on. Just taking a quick look inside this 8000 here, you can see that the main thing that's changed is the PRV. Just before it was obviously, as I explained earlier, down on the bottom right there, but now we've got it internally sort of coming on a copper tail, but finishing between the cold and the return. So once you connect him onto the top there, like that, with your fibre washer in between, I'll just show you where it will end up. I've changed mine slightly, so I've cut it to suit this installation, but under here, that is now where it will come out. So my plan then is to just run it left with the condensate into a ton dish and bring it down that way. But at the moment, that's pretty good for Bosch, so pleased with that, pleased with the change. Hi guys, so let me show you where we're at now. The boiler is on the wall, it's all piped, the condensate's in, just a small connection under the bath to do. And then what we've got to do next is just go up and come along with the flue. So we're up with 245s, got us up there, and then next case is just drilling through on the core drill. I'll show you. Don't look at that because that's for later. But up here, you can see that's where we're going. Straight down there and then straight out. And on the outside wall, it's pretty much spot on where it's going to come. So ladder on the flat roof, straight up, get the boot on, and we're away. So first clip on, and then the rest will be sorted. Underneath here is a little tiny inspection hatch, which would be ideal for a little shed really for us. So you can see 245s and a hole. Boiler's there, like I say. I'll show you what's happened on the pipework a bit later in the video. I'm really pleased with it, so hopefully. Okay, so here we are. We've got the Magna Cleanse on. Going to give it a good hour and a half now and see what we can pull out of this system. Just bleeding the radiators, it seems to be quite dirty water. So, and I noticed that when we first initially drained down. Obviously to top up the 8000, it comes with the keyless filling link, so no more having to purchase that separately. The wiring I'm going to tie up in a second, just getting some conduit away against the wall, but let's see now when we run it what we get out of this. So just want to show you this. The system's been cleaned now by that Magna Cleanse, and it's not all the time that they're really dirty, because on this one it's not too bad at all. All the radiators have been changed at some point, well, fully drained many times. As you can see, there's not much magnetite on there. It's quite clear. There's a few big splodges here, and then as the rings come down, the small darker patches. That's with a good Fernox cleaner and vibration of the rads, just to lift up any sediment into the system flow and get it back to this. So it's good news really. So we move back up now to the boiler, where we're going to just add in the inhibitor to the system. And if we just leave that top open like that, it's a great place to sort of place any chemicals you need to in the future. Get in. If you're adding more inhibitor, or checking the water, or checking the magnet for that matter as well, you know, doesn't hurt for the customer to have a go at pulling that out if they want to. It's not too tricky. I always show them if they're keen. But there we go. So here's the inside of the 8000 if you haven't already seen it. Just commissioning the boiler. Flue's all in, all finished. A couple of 45s to get us through the top. Just got to get a nice little finishing plate around the plasterboard. But that's all in and clipped, really pleased with it. I've just quickly whipped up a little shelf for the customer as well, so she can get all the towels back in or however she was going to use it. But it's come out really quite nice, that. I'm pleased with it. So yeah, we'll just finish the paperwork here and then we'll be sorted. So pretty much all done now, it's all running. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, tell me what you think. So that's me done now. 12-year warranty on this, 8,000, which is pretty special from Bosch, and yeah, I look forward to the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers guys.